Hey everybody, this is Tim. Today I'm going to be making an album cover. So, before we get started, album covers are usually square, so we're going to create we'll just make it 3000 by 3000. That should be good for this. We'll leave everything else on default. And here's our start. So I have a few images that I'm going to import. So I want to open the first one as a smart object, and the benefit of doing that is if we do have to resize it, which is really likely we'll have to do that, it should maintain a higher quality than if we didn't do it as a smart object. So I will bring this in, and here's a picture of my son. He's going to be our artist for today, our musical artist. And what I'm going to do is just take him, we're going to bring him onto our main canvas here. I'm going to go Control T, it'll bring up our grid here. And I'm going to resize him, let's see. I'm going to put him here, and I'm going to slide him over so it kind of looks like he's leaning on the edge of the frame there. To keep that there. I think that's a good size for what we're going to end up with here. For the background, I think I'm going to do a gradient. So let's find our gradient tool here. And right now it's going from white to black. I think that might actually look pretty good. So we'll go make sure we select background. We have different layers over here, and for the gradient we want to make sure it's behind Jay's picture, which is a smart object right now, so we wouldn't actually be able to interact with it in that way anyway. But we'll select background, and we'll bring our gradient across here. Yeah, perfect. I like that black behind his left shoulder there. So we got our background here. I want to add some text, so I'm going to get a text box up here. Gonna want a little bit bigger because this is where his name is gonna go. So that artist name needs to stand out. So let's go. Let's make it a 42 point, somewhere around there. Let's see, what like a cursive. Let's try this. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm going to rotate it so it's at a bit of an angle. We'll bring it down. I kind of want to change the color of that text a bit, so we'll go here. I'm thinking maybe a dark purple. See how that looks? Yeah, I like that. Underneath, we'll give it a little secondary title, maybe the title of the album. So we'll want that to be a little smaller, maybe 24. We'll say live and unplugged. Yeah, slide that over just a bit so it's centered. Now, I like the way that looks for now, but I want to do something up here. We're going to go to image, we're going to go to canvas size. I'm going to go pixels here since that's what I started off with, so I know how much of a border we're going to make on this relative to what we started with. I think I'm just going to make it 3100 and 3100. We're going to bring the border around the entire perimeter of the cover. So I'm going to leave all these arrows intact here. If I wanted to do just one side or the other, or just the top or the bottom, or so on and so forth, I could change those, but I want to keep it on all sides. And I think that dark blue, that might actually be okay. Let's see how this looks. Perfect. So now I might come back to this layer here and slide him past the border. There we go. So he stands out just a little bit more. Now next, let's see, what do we want to do? I have another pic that I'm going to import. I'll open it as a smart object again. And this is a Paw Patrol guitar that my son actually owns, and that's what he uses to play his epic jams. So we'll bring this guy in, and I actually like that size because all we're going to do is place this down in the corner here. And usually album covers have some sort of little bit of text to highlight the hit single on the album. So we're going to create a text box here. Let's see, probably want to go like a 10, and I don't want to keep that cursive, so let's try this. We'll say check out the hit single, and his hit single is a classic, Down by the Bay. And we'll say featuring Quincy, since that's his sister, and she likes to, you know, get involved with his songs as well. So we'll bring that down a little bit. Alright. And I might actually change the color of that text to black. And we'll take the title of the song. And what am I looking for here? I think it'll be okay. Alright. Next thing I'm going to do is play with this layer a little bit. So we're going to select it over here. I'm going to come up to layer. I'm going to go to layer style. And I want to give it a little bit of a drop shadow to give it some depth. So opacity 35%. I think that'd be okay. If we go up any, it's going to be too dark. It's going to take away from the original text. So actually 30 might look a little bit better, in my opinion. The distance here, can bring it down, but again, I think that's going to take away too much from the original text. So we'll keep that there. Okay, I like the way that's looking. So you can see we have all these different layers down here that are separate from each other that we can work with independently, which is really nice. Gives you a little bit of freedom, a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? You're able to be a little bit creative and not have to worry about messing with everything else. So we got text, we have pictures that we imported, smart objects, layer effects, we've done the background, we've changed the canvas size here to give us a little bit of a border, and it didn't cut into any of our working area that was originally that 3000 by 3000 pixels is still intact, and it added 50 pixels on each side to bring it to 3100. So we were able to add a border without affecting any of our workspace. So what the assignment is creating, like I said, creating an album cover, working with different layers, different types of images as far as smart objects, non-smart objects. One thing I will mention here that you can do, say on this pic here, if I did want to work with it, let me see, I may be wrong, but yeah, see that smart object must be rasterized before proceeding. So rasterize the smart object, I could click OK. Another way to do that is over here we can right click and find rasterize layer, and that would allow me to manipulate that. We'll undo that. I'm going to convert it back to a smart object, and that is it. So we're going to take this guy and I'm going to save him as J album album cover. Save it. Okay. We can get rid of these guys. I don't think I need to save anything there. And that is it. So thank you guys for watching.